Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. It's time for our Spend with TMS segment. Now, what we've been seeing as a trend for the last couple of months is the buy now, pay later scheme. So whatever the product you fancy, however expensive it may be, you can always purchase it right away and then pay later. Many fintech platforms, many startups are offering this scheme, which does ease any cash pressure that the individual may be going through. You may be wanting something right now, but your salary is due only at the end of the month. Not to fret, you can purchase it right now and then, pay back only once your salary comes in. But it sounds too good to be true. Are there any catches? Are there any hidden costs and fees? And also, how does it differ from a regular credit card? To discuss all of this and more, I have with me Aparna Ramachandra of Rectify Credit. Aparna, a pleasure having you with us. Thank you so much for taking our time and joining us today on ET Now. So, buy now, pay later, it sounds somewhat like a credit card, right? It sounds very enticing as well because we've seen massive popularity of the number of people opting for this scheme. So tell us, how exactly does it work?
Hi, Mubina. Pleasure to be back again. You're very right. It is almost like a credit card, but it is a little different from a credit card. When I say different, it is usually, like you rightly said, a fintech company that is giving you this. So maybe like a Ola is there, maybe like an Amazon Pay is there. They all have this buy now, pay later kind of a thing. So it is not necessarily a bank that is giving you this option. These are online platforms, fintech platforms. And the approval is very different from a credit card perspective. They have their own in-house machine decides whether you are ready for, you can be approved for a BNPL or not. And the repayment, what you enjoy in a credit card, which is 45 days, here you can have an option of getting it for a few months or maybe few weeks, depending on what you choose for. So that is where it is a little different from a credit card.
Okay. So, with a credit card as well, you have at least some sort of costs involved. I need to pay the credit card company a maintenance fee. It could be an annual fee. So when it comes to buy now, pay later, are there any costs hidden or otherwise that are involved?
See, in a credit card also, you have an option to choose for zero fee credit card. So then there is no fee that you pay. And if you continue to pay the complete bill on time, there is again no charge on your credit card. Similarly, in a BNPL, what they do is at the time of joining, there is like a 25% kind of a thing that you need to deposit, which is your initial payment that you do. And then depending on how you spend and how much you repay, how you repay, they decide on how much credit they are okay to give you. So per se, there is no charge because the platform is making money from the merchant and it is not directly making money from the user. But where the charge comes is if you are not able to pay on time is where there are penalties. There are few platforms which charge a flat fee, say like a 200 or a 500 or 1,000, depending on what is the usage. Or there is again like a percentage that they charge on your balance that is there. So there is a combination of two. So the charge is there for a BNPL only if you miss the payment. Otherwise, you are all right.
And what would be the charge if you miss the payment on a BNPL? Would it differ from, company to company that you're opting for? And is it generally lower than a credit card? Because a credit card will charge you a massive penalty of almost 30 to 40%.
Yeah, here, like I said, there is platform to platform, the fee is different. There are few which are charging a flat fee. So they may charge you a 500 or a 750 or 1,000, depending on how much you are using. And there are also few which are charging a percentage of what is overdue. So it varies. But my sense, it is not very clearly mentioned anywhere, but my sense is it will be more expensive than a credit card because the platform is taking a bigger risk on these individuals because they have no kind of a history check. They have no kind of a background. These are new first-time users, machine-decided users. So I feel to mitigate their risk, their charges would be higher than what typically a credit card is charging. That's my sense.
Okay. So, you mentioned the users are decided basically on an algorithm or, based on machine learning. So, does it mean that not everyone can use a BNPL scheme or opt for a BNPL? And what kind
Absolutely.
of users does the machine generally not pick out as eligible for BNPL?
That's a brilliant question. So I may want to be a BNPL user, but I may not be allotted one. I may not be approved. So if you see now, so far in India, they usually have a financial institution as there is a tie-up. Like you will see most of these apps mention at the back end, which is the financial institution they have tied up with. So you are kind of, there is going to be some kind of a credit check that is going to be done. And typically, because the number of merchants who are agreeing to this BNPL is still lesser, I feel the usage is more younger people, more tech savvy, more urban. It is still not percolated down. And it is only a matter of time before that happens. And most of them said, if you are already a credit card user, the registration is faster. So I get a sense that they also want to make sure that you are good credit card borrowers before they give you this BNPL approval. That's my sense is how the algo is built.
So basically, Aparna, if I have a good credit score, it boils down to that, right? Then I would be eligible for a BNPL. To put it simply, would that be correct?
I think yes. End of the day, it is somebody who's going to take a risk on you, right? So he's wanting to mitigate his risk. So he would obviously want to make sure that you've been a good borrower. But though they all say that we are making it easy for you, we want to the onboarding process is simpler. We have our own in-house tools that decide whether this needs to be approved to you or not. But my sense is at the back end, there is some kind of a credit check that happens.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, in a credit card, they know you, they know who you are, they have your number, if you could say that. But when it comes to, a buy now, pay later scheme, that's not necessarily the case. There's more use of, technology and a platform. All right.
And also,
now, Aparna, we often say that, okay, don't overuse your credit card. Go ahead, Aparna.
No, and also this whole thing is very new in the system. So they are also doing a trial and error, and the user is also trying to test the waters. So there is we are still in a kind of a wooing each other kind of a phase before it really starts getting accepted. More merchants get on the platform, and these fintechs start making money out of that. So we are still too early there. So everybody is wanting to be extra cautious and wanting to put their best foot forward.
Okay, I understood. Now, Aparna, from an individual's point of view, we often say that don't overuse your credit card, make your payments in time, or you're not going to have a good credit score. We've discussed this topic as well with you several times, Aparna. Do you think that, and with the credit card, there's this tendency that you tend to overuse it, you fall into a debt trap? We've seen a lot of millennials fall into this. We seem to be moving the Western way as well, especially the younger generation. Could that happen with this buy now, pay later scheme, which affords you so much convenience?
That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear, because the convenience part is what is being played upon everywhere. And the decision is not a very thought through kind of a systematic kind of a decision. So the onboarding process is also a little question mark, if I can put it like that. So I would fear, my biggest fear is today, a lot of these fintech companies are funded. They are okay to be lending. So each one thinks that their algo is pretty good and pretty sound, and they are able to make the right decisions while lending. But I don't see any effort being put on what kind of a system that is in place for recovery, what kind of a system in place if there is a default happens. So it is only a matter of time before there is a big boom of these defaulters. And with the way things are going, this is scary. If you are someone who is very diligent and like in a credit card user, if you are very disciplined and you know that you are buying now and you're sure of paying later, then this is a good thing to choose for. Otherwise, I would say stay away. As in, don't use this product.
Like how can customers resist the urge to overuse this convenience?
Self-discipline. I know this is very tempting, but then I think somewhere you need to know that things are going to get difficult if you are unable to pay, and one way or the other you are going to face the reality of having defaulted. So it is better not to get into these traps. And Mubina, my sense is where there are multiple credit card users, they are, there is a tendency to shift one credit card dues to another credit card, like a balance transfer kind of a thing. And then it is a rolling thing, and very soon it is a vicious cycle. So similarly, a BNPL will, land you there. So you need to be careful.
And will any delayed payment of the buy now pay later scheme as well lead to an individual's credit score being affected?
I think yes, because like I mentioned earlier, at the back end, there is a financial institution that is, supporting these fintech platforms which are offering this BNPL. So my request would be, or my advice would be, before you sign up for your BNPL, please check whether these back-end lenders are going to be reporting you as their borrowers. If they are going to be reporting you as their borrowers, then be rest assured that this data is going to go to the credit bureau the very next month. So that is where one needs to be careful. So read between the lines, read what you are signing up for. And if this is the case, then you be rest assured that your data is getting submitted to the credit bureau.
Aparna, really appreciate you joining us today on ET Now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mubina.
With that, we are out of time on this episode of The Money Show. Thank you for watching.